Hey, welcome back. Once again, my name is Miguel, and here we are in Truth Matters. It's the place where we discuss things about truth from a biblical standpoint and, of course, from an enlightened common sense. And today I want to talk about a topic that's kind of resurged in popularity in the last year or so, what with the pandemic and the forced vaccinations and everything. I've had questions about, because I did a lesson on the end times about the vaccination. Is it the mark of the beast? And the answer was obviously no, it's not the mark of the beast. And, they also said, as I saw on Facebook, that, they could put a microchip in the vaccine and you don't know you got it. So could it be possible that the vaccine is a mark of the beast? And not really. I'm going to explain that. I'm going to actually give you my view and my point as to what the mark of the beast is. But I want to talk about that today. What is the mark of the beast? Because that's something important that we need to know, especially in the light of the days that we live in. And it's actually found in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, where the chapter starts off talking about the Antichrist, the beast, who the devil or the dragon gives him power and great authority and all that he does, and that he's mortally wounded, of course. But the second part of that chapter focuses on the second beast, which is the false prophet. I'm going to read 5 or 6 verses just so we can get a good idea of what's going on here. Revelation 13, verse 11 through 18. Then I saw another beast coming out of the earth, and he had 2 horns, like a lamb, and spoke like a dragon. And he exercises all the authority of the first beast in his presence, and causes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. He performs great signs, so that even he makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he deceives those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he was granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived. He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many who would not worship the beast to be killed. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, and here it is, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark of the beast, or the name, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. So that's where we get the mark of the beast, number 666. It's something that's associated with worship of the beast that's going to happen during the tribulation. A couple of things we need to know. What is the mark of the beast? People want to know, well, what is it? Is it this? Is it that? Is it the other? And the honest answer is, don't worry about it. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what the mark of the beast is. Why? Because Revelation is a book of the future. It's a prophetic book that takes place during the tribulation, the final 7 years of mankind before the Lord comes. And because it's a future book, no one knows what it is. It doesn't matter how important a person is, how anointed they are, how big their ministry is. It doesn't matter who it is. They don't know. We don't know. We can't know. Why? Because it's future. It's like you ask me, hey, Miguel, what's the numbers of the Lotto 649 or a max, lottery for $60 million? I want to know. Well, I can't tell you what those numbers are because that's a future event. Now, after the lottery numbers come out, I can tell you the day after. I can just go back one day in the news and say, oh, here are your numbers. But I can't know what they are in advance. And likewise, I can't know what the mark of the beast is because we don't know. It's future. However, having said that, there are some viable options out there as to what it could be. And the most popular one is a microchip. That would make sense because it goes in your hand, right, or on your forehead. It could be a tattoo, could be a device, some sort of electronic device, because it says you can either buy nor sell. And I've seen this on social media. I've seen this on videos. People get injected right, in their wrist or kind of like right here. And then they go to the ATM, it's about 10 feet away, stick their hand to the ATM and boom, their account comes up. So we know that now they can access their bank account with this chip. Doesn't seem like a good idea to me unless you have extra security, because if all you need to do is put your hand by the ATM and you get access, someone can just chop your hand off and take your hand with them. But that's for another video. But anyways, microchip seems to be a viable option as to what it could be, because we won't be able to buy or sell without it. So let me explain that a little bit. If we're around that time, should the Lord tarry, and we get the mark of the beast, or the mark of the beast is available, unless you have it, you cannot buy nor can you sell. That means you can't go to the store, you can't buy food, you can't have a business and sell, because it's obviously tied to economy, it's tied to finances, it's tied to your bank account. So that's where we're going right now with a cashless society, with Bitcoin, Interact, and e-transfers. money, physical money, is being taken away, because once we have money in our hands, we have control. If money is all digital, the government has control. And that's where we're going with this. If you don't have money, you can't do anything. The government can freeze your bank account. You can't buy nor sell. And that's what's going to happen. That's how it's going to culminate in the end with the Antichrist, with this mark of the beast, if it happens to be a chip. Now, a couple things. If we're in that period, while God can supernaturally provide for us, I would rather, or just in case, if we are in those times and I know the mark of the beast is just around the corner, I would go to Costco and I would buy food for 2 years and store it in my basement, build a bunker, get a generator, get some water, but have food for 1 or 2 years, because if we can't buy or sell, if we don't want to take the mark, then we're going to die of starvation. So just, something to think about. But going back to at the beginning, I said, I'm going to tell you what my advice or my point is on the mark of the beast. What is the mark of the beast? Do you want to know what the mark of the beast is? I'll tell you. Who cares? Yeah, you heard me. Who cares? Who cares what the mark of the beast is? It doesn't matter what the mark of the beast is. There's only 2 things you need to know. There's only 2 things that matter with respect to the mark of the beast. Number 1, it says the Antichrist will be mortally wounded and he'll live. That means Antichrist, the beast is only revealed halfway through the tribulation period. At the 3.5-year mark, at the abomination of desolation, when Antichrist is revealed as the beast, he will die. He will be killed, but he will resurrect. That happens 3.5 years into the tribulation. Then the mark of the beast appears. In other words, it doesn't matter what people say today. Is a vaccine the mark of the beast? No. Are microchips today the mark of the beast? No. Is this the mark of the beast? No. The mark of the beast will only be revealed halfway through the tribulation period. 3.5 years in the tribulation period, after the abomination of desolation, that's when the mark of the beast will be given as an option: take it or die. So don't worry about it right now. Second thing you need to know is, do not take the mark. Do not take the mark. It doesn't matter if you're starving, if you're being persecuted, you got no money. Do not take the mark, because if you do, you will go to hell. Listen to what Revelation chapter 14 says from verse 9 to 11. Then the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if anyone worships the beast and his image and receives his mark on his forehead or his hand, he himself shall also drink the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out full strength into the cup of his indignation. He, the one who takes the mark, shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascends forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night, who worship the beast and his image, and whoever receives the mark of his name. So 2 things you need to know about the mark of the beast. It's only going to be a reality in the tribulation, halfway through, 3.5 years after tribulation begins. That's when it's going to come out. And number 2, do not take the mark of the beast. Die instead, because if you take it, you are condemned to hell. There is no forgiveness once you take the mark of the beast. So I hope that answers your questions on the mark of the beast. Come back again next week when we go back again and talk about topics of truth with biblical standpoint and an enlightened common sense. And once again, if you stand for anything, stand for the truth, and the truth will stand up for you. God bless you.